Is this an election about Delhi or is this a national election for the Congress? Is this a referendum in a way on how the Congress performed under Sheila Dikshit for 15 years? Or do you believe this is an election which will be a referendum on the last 7 months of Narendra Modi as Prime Minister?
Well, Rajdeep, let me begin by saying, glamorous as your theory may sound of a presidential form of election between Mr. Kejriwal and Mr. Modi, the myth seems to have been demolished by the Delhi Cant elections today itself, where Congress has polled about 1,500 votes less than BJP, and we have won 2 seats and we've lost 2 seats by a very narrow margin, while it's a seat held by Mr. Kejriwal's party in the assembly, as also by the cantonment elections of Mr. Modi's own home constituency in Banaras and Lucknow.
Yes.
So people have spoken and people now have seen the U-turns of Mr. Modi's government on every issue, including statehood for Delhi. What happened? Mr. Modi completely forgot about it in the rally.
The way you are speaking, it doesn't appear that the Congress is giving up Delhi. The Congress doesn't seem to be wanting to give up Delhi, even if our poll is giving up on you.
Absolutely not. Be sure the underdog who's being, Congress is being projected as the underdog, and your polls seem to reflect that. But let me, with all humility at my command, say that all these poll pundits will be proved wrong when the results are out and Congress comes back to power, because we are the one who built Delhi.
It's sounding like 2014 all over again. Okay, I take your point. It's sounding like 2014 all over again, but is there something distinctive? Manisha, you made the point that you believe this is an election unlike any other that Delhi has had. Am I seeing this election as, in a sense, between a regional party now called the Aam Aadmi Party, which claims to, in a sense, represent the Delhi city-state, versus the BJP, which has now emerged as India's premier national party with a very strong national leader? Is that the kind of contest now that this has become? Who is my local party versus who is my national representative national party?
Who's my local party? Yes. Who's my national party? No. Because if you look at the Ramlila Maidan presence behind Mr. Modi, it was the regional faces that now have come up under his electioneering. What I did not see behind him was a Shivraj Singh Chauhan development model. What I did not see behind him was a Vasundhara Raje development model. What I did not see behind him was a Raman Singh development model.
He's offering a Narendra Modi development model. He's saying, I am the Prime Minister of the country, have the same government in Delhi, have the same government at the center, and Delhi will grow and develop.
But however, Raghuvar Das coming up and saying that I am the son of a labourer, I was a labourer here and here, and a man like me can come up and become this. Devendra Fadnavis coming and saying that I've been an ordinary worker of the party and I've been able to come up. So in a sense, Narendra Modi is saying that if I am at the helm of affairs in the BJP, factionalism of the party is going to be out, and what is going to be there is my model of electing someone who's been a grassroots worker in the party. So in a sense, Mr. Modi has signaled 2 ways. He said another model of the BJP is what you'll get to see, unlike at the last assembly elections, where, whether we want to believe it or not, the BJP also was a party that was ridden with factionalism up until the last minutes. So Mr. Modi promising a new style of BJP for Delhi under his tutelage. The president's men perhaps will come and rule Delhi if the party were to win it. And obviously the Aam Aadmi Party that says that we are a party for the city finally. They also dabbled trying to be a national party, but have learnt their lessons.
I just want to know that. Have you learnt your lesson, Yogendra Yadav, that you are no longer a national party, you are now a party of Delhi? Would it be fair to say you didn't even contest in Haryana this time? Am I to understand that you all have decided, let's cut our losses, let's try and focus on becoming a regional party of Delhi? So only a year ago you had national ambitions, now you've decided best to focus as a Delhi-centric party.
Rajdeep, I wish to say with all the emphasis at my command that we are not a regional party. We do not want to be a regional party in our perspective, in our vision, in our plans. At the moment, our strength is concentrated more in 2 places, Delhi and Punjab. We want to expand. We have a certain roadmap of how to expand. And in that roadmap, one critical element was coming back to Delhi. That is why we decided to put our energies here more. But we do not see Aam Aadmi Party as a regional party of any state, Delhi, Punjab or any other state. Aam Aadmi Party, if at all we have any relevance, the relevance is about suggesting an alternative kind of politics for the country. Delhi happens to be its first model.
Why not accept that you are
trial, first experiment.
Why not accept that you are resetting your model? That after what happened in the general elections, you're doing a reset. You've now decided, let's focus on this local election. Let's put all our resources there. Perhaps that is a better way for you in the future, unlike having the grandiose notion that Arvind Kejriwal can offer a national alternative to Narendra Modi, can fight him even in a Banaras. Have you all accepted that you need to reset?
No, Rajdeep, there is tactics, there are strategies, and there is a long-term vision. The long-term vision is that of alternative politics throughout the country. Aam Aadmi Party just last week has organized a nationwide protest in more than 300 districts of the country against the land acquisition ordinance. We see ourselves as occupying the role principal opposition in this country, which has been vacated by the Congress. In order to reach there, we would take step by step. Delhi happens to be one very vital step, but a step no more.
You know, that's an interesting observation that you're making, that you, in a sense, now still see yourself as a national party, even after what happened in the general elections. And yet, at the same time, I think there is a recognition that your future, in a way, lies in what happens in this Delhi election in terms of the Aam Aadmi's final tally of seats. Let's take a break at this point. When we return, I'm going to look at that question. Who is Delhi's most preferred choice of chief minister? Capital showdown. The elections to Delhi have been announced. The bugle has been sounded. And here we are asking the big question on the India Today Cicero opinion poll. Who is winning the battle for Delhi if elections are held today? Let's turn to our next big question. Who does Delhi want as their chief minister is what we asked. Our election tracker is showing this now. 4% of Delhi want to see Ajay Maken and the BJP's Jagdish Mukhi as their chief ministers. 5% said they would like to see Satish Upadhyay and the Congress's Arvinder Singh Lovely, their leader, as the chief minister. 6% want to give one more chance to former chief minister of Delhi, Sheila Dikshit. 23% of Delhi want to give BJP's Harshvardhan, now a union minister, as their chief ministerial choice. But 35% want Arvind Kejriwal as their chief minister, despite his controversial 49-day government in Delhi. It is the big question, isn't it, Sambit Patra, that is haunting the BJP at one level, that you do not have a state leader. You don't have a state leader to take on an Arvind Kejriwal. If there is one big advantage that the Aam Aadmi Party has over you in this election, is that they have a face. Just as you had a face in the general elections in Narendra Modi, the Aam Aadmi Party has a face in the Delhi elections in Arvind Kejriwal. Will you throw up a face to combat Arvind Kejriwal or rely on Mr. Modi?
And Rajdeep, let me decipher this. I mean, like umpteen number of times, almost in all the channels, this question has been repeated cyclically. That do you have a face?
Yes.
The Aam Aadmi Party has a face. Now, what is this face and how can this face do anything good to them? Now, the Aam Aadmi Party is concerned, they don't have a body meaning the organization. They don't have a brain in the sense they don't have a thought process, they don't have evolved one. They just have a face. Let's agree that, well, yes, they have a face.
Yes.
Just a face will not suffice for administration. You need a whole structure. We will have a face, we have an organization that is the body, we have a thought process which we call Mr. Modi's vision. So in combination, what we have is a structure which would deliver governance. Just a face would cause anarchy and nothing else, and that is what Aam Aadmi Party has been doing. And so since I'm a resident of Delhi, I'm telling you the fact. Yes. Today, most of the candidates who have been given ticket from the Aam Aadmi Party are reluctant contenders. They don't want to contend. I stay in a place where the Aam Aadmi Party contender does not want to contest.
Sambit Patra, they've announced their candidates, and many would say that's because they don't have the kind of money that is at the disposal of the BJP. Let's be clear.
They were throwing money tonight.
They were
splurging money on the air today.
You have the media on your side, you have the money on your side, and you have Modi on your side. The three M's. Which is why, you know, the Aam Aadmi Party has at the moment neither of these three M's at the moment. Modi, media or money. Right or wrong?
No, just a second. I mean, Rajdeep, why are you on our side? I mean, you in the sense media. I don't understand you being on our side. I mean, what is the compulsion that you are on the side of Bharatiya Janata Party? Why are you not on the side of Aam Aadmi Party? Who has prevented you from being on the side of Aam Aadmi Party? Okay. Do you mean to obliquely suggest that the media has been bought, or do you want to obliquely suggest that media can be bought? Is this a proposition that you are giving?
I am almost suggesting that, but I don't want to do that on this program. We will do that on another day at another time when we discuss the role of the media and the manner in which the media is covering these elections. But Yogendra Yadav, let's be very clear that Sambit Patra has a point that you can't win an election only on a face. There are other factors also that matter. Do you concede that you don't have the kind of organization, for example, that the BJP has in the RSS? I am told that the Panna Pramukhs of the RSS are already out in every constituency over the last couple of months targeting households. Do you have that? Can you compete with them at the local level with the organizational base that they have?
Rajdeep, let me begin by conceding what we don't have.
Yes.
We don't have even the fraction of the kind of resources and money that the BJP can put into this election. And that is a huge disadvantage. Yes, I concede that. We don't have those dirty trick departments that the BJP can play out. We simply haven't learned how to do these things. We don't want to get into
No, you also have your own. Let's be
honest,
Yogendra ji, you also have your own social media teams. You also have your teams that are targeting Mr. Modi at every given opportunity. So it's not as if the Aam Aadmi Party is a party which is living outside the pale of the cut and thrust of electoral politics anymore. You're also playing your cut and thrust electoral politics, which is what makes it so fascinating and interesting. At least you're offering a fight, unlike the Congress party, which I'm told Randeep Singh Surjewala has just been withdrawn from our program. But go ahead.
Rajdeep, social media is not a dirty trick department. Of course we have social media. Of course this is our only hope of being able to carry the message to the people, when media very often has been very, very lopsided in its coverage. Social media is not dirty trick department. Trying to buy MLAs is dirty trick. Trying to do other things, underhand deals, those are dirty tricks. But let me say what we do have. As for organization, as the BJP shall discover, yes, last time we didn't have organization. Yes, we suffered on the very last day of polling simply because we didn't know how to manage a pool in the best sense of the term. This time, Aam Aadmi Party has a polling booth committee and teams in every single booth of Delhi. As for reluctant candidates, I would like to discover from Mr. Patra, I believe the problem with most of our leaders, including me for the last few weeks, has been how to deal with hundreds of people who want ticket for every single seat. Reluctance, did I hear? I don't know. As for brains, I would leave it to Mr. Patra to decide who has brains.
No, and let's come to the point though, Manisha, Arvind Kejriwal. You know, you've seen those numbers there. Do you believe that Arvind Kejriwal at one level is both the asset and the liability of the Aam Aadmi Party? That he is their face, he is charismatic, he's able to communicate effectively. At the same time, he's seen as a one-man show, he's seen as someone who can be erratic, and he is someone who, after leaving the government in 49 days, is also being seen as someone whom you can't trust. Is he their asset and their liability?
Well, that's the question. You know, the Aam Aadmi Party should have ideally stood for a kind of politics that was not tethered to just one individual. But, you know, Yogenji's milder and calmer version can be contrasted with statements that I've heard from Manish Sisodia on another channel, where he said, he is our most, Arvind Kejriwal hamara sabse credible chehra hai. My understanding is that the vote bank of the Aam Aadmi is intact with the underprivileged and underclass of the city because of their issues being championed by the Aam Aadmi Party. In that case, Aam Aadmi Party should have had many chehras.
So that's an interesting point. You're saying the Aam Aadmi Party is getting its votes on issues, not on the individual of
Absolutely, on the issues.
And the lower income groups who are turning towards it are going on issues not because of Kejriwal.
And I would add indeed, Rajdeep, that when I interview the Muslim underclass, I almost feel that had we had a vibrant sector of the left, here's a class that says Congress party hamari majburi thi. Look at the impact of globalization, their jobs taken away, all the beautiful clothes women wear in the city, all the skilled stuff that we see on the buildings of the city built by them and their ancestors.
Am I seeing in that answer of yours, is there a class divide in Delhi? That the middle classes are increasingly gravitating towards Narendra Modi because they trust him, the lower income groups and the jhuggi jhopris are turning towards Arvind Kejriwal because they feel they have no other option. Is that the way this election is going to be fought, between those who live in middle class colonies and in the VIP areas and those who live in jhuggi jhopris and lower middle class colonies?
With minor modifications, that the underclass, that when it votes on its issues, it feels positive, it feels resurgent. It does not feel as if it's a captive. That's the moment that the Dalit or the Valmikis show you that we will keep quiet but do exactly as we please. The Congress, if you remember, before the last assembly elections, they had nominated a Valmiki sweeper by profession to the NDMC. They said, fine, take the patronage, but politically do what is right. Now, here's the Muslim underclass that says that if we repose our trust in the Aam Aadmi Party, India is likely to have a very vibrant opposition.
Can I just take that to you, Javed? When Manisha says that the Muslim underclass, the Dalit underclass, these were all traditional Congress vote banks. They seem to be drifting from the Congress and moving towards the Aam Aadmi Party in several instances. Am I to understand the Congress has written off this election? Sheila Dikshit virtually saying the other day, we will be ready to support the Aam Aadmi Party if it comes to that. Am I to understand the Congress has written off this election, or the fact that Ajay Makan could now be their campaign committee chief suggests that the Congress also wants to be in the fight? Have they become in this election the B team of the Aam Aadmi Party?
Look, I'm not so sure if they've written it off, but they do realize they have a mountain to climb, and they realize that they have to do something out of the height.
Are they shooting off the shoulders of the Aam Aadmi Party? Do they see the Aam Aadmi Party as the A team to take on the BJP, and they are happy to be the B team? Is the Indian National Congress happy to be the B team of the Aam Aadmi Party?
The fact is that the Indian National Congress in Delhi is fighting a battle for survival. Getting the Makans, getting all the other MPs to contest is a part of that. They realize that they must at least hold on to the 8, if not better that. And that's the real threat that the Congress party faces in Delhi. If I was their political manager, I'd have sleepless nights, because people will then, once they realize that they are not in the fray, they will start gravitating towards the Aam Aadmi Party. And therefore, this race towards the end will become much more closer than what is being projected even now.
It's interesting because the Congress, unfortunately, Mr. Randeep Singh Surjewala has left our program because apparently the Congress has pulled him out of an opinion poll program that we were doing at the moment. But it's interesting to see how this class divide is playing out. Sambit Patra, you first. Is your primary appeal towards middle class colonies and not to the jhuggi jhopri? The Prime Minister says in his speech, I will make Delhi inverter free. Let's be clear, in jhuggi jhopris people don't even have inverters. So is Narendra Modi's main target the middle classes and not those who live in jhuggi jhopris today? Is that the class that he believes will drive him, the neo middle class, which will take him to victory in Delhi?
No, Rajdeep, you are having selective vision in this. You have conveniently forgotten what Mr. Narendra Modi and his government did for the unauthorized colonies, in which 60% of people of Delhi live. 60% of people of Delhi who are the so-called
He's regularizing those colonies, and that won't happen for another 3 years.
No,
and the fact is, every government does it. And when Sheila Dikshit came up, you criticized her. When Sheila Dikshit was regularizing unauthorized colonies, you criticized her. Now when Narendra Modi wants to regularize it,
Can I answer you? Now here I have the CAG report of 2013, and let me read you only a few lines of the CAG report.
Quickly, please.
The CAG found massive irregularities in identifying the areas of the colonies. Just in order to regularize a colony, its population figures were inflated in some instances, while in others even the empty plots were included in the map of the colonies. Out of the 2,800 crores spent for development of unauthorized colonies in 2018 up till now, that is up till 2013, only 249 crore have been spent. Umpteen number of lines. I can read you the whole report of the CAG. So our commitment should not be compared of the Congress. But I have a quick answer to Mr. Yogendra Yadav. He was saying that Bharatiya Janata Party has a dirty trick department and theirs does not have one. Mr. Yadav, you have a dirty trick department by the name of ISS department. That is the ink, slippers and slap department. Wait for a while. From tomorrow or day after, now that the elections have been over, you will open that department. We know that is a dirty trick department of the Aam Aadmi Party. So what are you saying, that you don't have a dirty trick department?
Locally then.
It's interesting, Yogendra Yadav. It appears at the moment that this election is being fought at various levels. There is the level of Narendra Modi and being fought at who is the person most preferred to lead Delhi, and it is also being fought at the level of these local factors. Are you determined to localize this election? Would you agree that the only chance that the Aam Aadmi Party has is if you can localize this election and make it about Bijli Sadak Pani? Moment it becomes about who is the best leader, Narendra Modi will trump Arvind Kejriwal?
Rajdeep, the election about who is the best leader for the country took place about 8 or 9 months ago, and the country largely reposed faith in Mr. Modi. That contest is done and over. We would have it 5 years later. The contest that we are in right now is about who is the best person to lead Delhi, or who is the best party, who has the best agenda for Delhi. Of course, we want to focus only on that. Of course, this election is not about foreign policy. It's not about the macroeconomic policy. It is about Delhi. It is about water, electricity, governance, convenience, education, health. And Aam Aadmi Party has consistently focused on that.
No.
Our agenda is positive. Yes. We are going ahead with that. That's what we would do.
That's very different from what 13 months ago.
Two quick points.
That's very different from 14 months ago, Yogendra Yadav, when you were focusing, it appeared on the corruption of Sheila Dikshit and eventually took support from the same Sheila Dikshit, which is what people are also asking now. Why should we trust the Aam Aadmi Party?
Rajdeep, at that time, Aam Aadmi Party was struggling to establish itself. Today, no one questions the honesty of Aam Aadmi Party. Even the worst critics have not put allegations of corruption against Aam Aadmi Party. During the Lok Sabha election, people asked us one question: how do we trust you with governance? It's a legitimate question. In the course of last 2 months, we have given detailed blueprint on every single thing of Delhi, on education, on health, on water, electricity, women's security. We have given that blueprint. I'm waiting to hear that blueprint from Congress Party, from the BJP.
Can I?
As for the Congress Party, I think the only fair point there is to say that in the course of next few weeks, as contest comes closer, whatever little votes Congress Party has, 8 to 10%, is very tiny for winning, but it's significant enough to damage us. My own sense is, and Javed was making that point, that towards the end of the election, Congress votes will dramatically fall because no one votes for a 10% party. And primarily those votes will come to Aam Aadmi Party. That's why this contest is much close than it appears.
Can I get Rajiv Karandikar on that before I go to you, Sambit? Because Rajiv Karandikar, is that true that the entire election, your arithmetic as we track this election will depend on how much the Congress collapses? If the Congress collapses even below 16%, will that again change the equations completely? Or is the vote getting consolidated?
No, in the past elsewhere also we have seen that as the election date nears, there is a dramatic churn, and here I agree with Yogen that if the Congress vote breaks, more likely that it will go to AAP. So the contest can get closer than what we see today. I again repeat what we said, that this is the picture as of now. Campaigning is on, and all these calculations will happen. People may change their mind, and the picture can change.
I can see that you're keeping your safety warning for those who fear that we may get it wrong. You put your safety warning there, Dr. Karandikar. But Sambit Patra, let me give you a final word since you've been itching to respond to Yogendra Yadav. Yogendra Yadav says AAP has given a blueprint of Delhi. You have not given a blueprint of Delhi. You have told us what you claim Narendra Modi has achieved. It's not about a blueprint for Delhi. Quick answer.
Umpteen number of times since day before yesterday, I have been hearing of this blueprint of Delhi. All I would say is, when the blueprint should have been on their laps and they should have been rigorously studying the blueprint of Delhi, ironically, they were studying the blueprint of Varanasi as to how they should win Varanasi and as to how Mr. Kejriwal would become the Prime Minister. And that is when the game was decided. Look, so in a single line, I would conclude by saying, Aam Aadmi is in a hurry to become, not in a hurry to do. They are in a hurry to become something, CM or PM, not in a hurry to deliver for Delhi. Had they really stayed back and delivered for Delhi, then today's discourse would have been different, or probably we would not have been having this debate.
You agree with that? That basically the Aam Aadmi Party could have had an opportunity last year to build a Delhi model of development, failed to do it. Now they have to reset, in a sense, the compass and prove to Delhi again that they can deliver.
So Dalit, delivery and being in Delhi, the 3 Ds, the 3D for the Aam Aadmi Party.
So for you, Dalit, delivery and being in Delhi are the 3 critical factors. As I said, for some it is about Modi, media and money. That's also going to be a critical factor in this election. How will all that play out? Plenty more is coming up ahead. We've got plenty more now. We've got many more issues to discuss on Delhi. Back in a moment as we will look And how are people looking at Narendra Modi's performance over 7 months compared to the performance of Arvind Kejriwal in 49 years?